Hello all, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Critters 3 You Are What They Eat from 1991. It's directed by Christine Peterson and stars John Calvin and Amy Brooks. Well, last time I teased that this film featured the first film credit for a now Oscar-winning actor, and so I may as well come out with it right away instead of burying the lead. This is the first film for a young Leonardo DiCaprio. He plays Josh, who we meet towards the beginning of the film at a rest stop, and then he shows up later in the film, largely by circumstance, and becomes a heroic youngin' as he helps save people from the Krites. Critters 3 You Are What They Eat is about the Krites hitching a ride to the big city from outside Grover's Bend, where they spent the majority of the first two films. They end up causing all sorts of chaos in a small 3-story apartment building, and Josh is the son of the skeezy landlord that is trying to force the tenants out so he can sell the building and make a mint, but it's safe to say that Josh doesn't agree with his father's money-hungry ideals. Only 2 characters from the last Critters film return in this one, although I can't say which 2 because one is a cameo at the end and it sort of ruins the surprise. This film isn't great, but it's solid enough, I guess. Take a situation, mix in some Krites, watch the bloodshed and craziness ensue. Although that's the main problem, is there isn't too much of it in this film. I think only 2 people end up Krite food, and that's a big step back from the body count in the second Critters movie. And since this is a silly movie that really only has its PG-13 gore to go on, there isn't much here to sustain you. Add to that there are a lot fewer Krites in this film, I think 5 or 6 if I remember correctly, which is another huge disappointment when you think of how there were dozens and dozens in the previous Critters film. After everything is said and done, there is a scene that runs throughout the credits of the film which leads directly into the plot of the 4th film, which, spoiler alert, is going to take place in space. The one character that I'm not ruining any secret if I mention he comes back is Charlie from the first 2 Critters films. Although we left off Critters 2 with him as the sheriff of Grover's Bend, don't know why he'd want to turn in that job in order to become the crazy alien guy again, but he does, and I guess we're just supposed to accept that. Then again, Charlie being in the film is probably the best thing it has going for it, because it brings some consistency to the series, as he's also going to be featured in the 4th film, which was released the following year. I'm going to give Critters 3 You Are What They Eat a C- because it ain't much to get excited about. Tomorrow we watch the 4th film of the Critters franchise, Critters 4, and you won't believe who's in this one either. See y'all then.